Hello everyone, it's Knoel, back with our 34th out of 100 original characters. Today's OC is NTHANDA, a widow and a grandmother. She spends her retired days baking cookies with her grandkids and sharing stories about her own childhood growing up in Zambia. I used the Arteza Gouache set for NTHANDA, and looking back on it, I kind of wished I wouldn't have inked in the braids on her scalp. I feel like I could have gotten away with just using gouache to paint them in where I wanted. Perhaps I'll attempt to do that with another character at some point. I left you off last time with the tale of the West Side Singer's adventures in Tennessee. Well, this time we packed our bags and headed out west to California. We were going to be staying in Anaheim at a hotel right across the street within walking distance of Disneyland. Of course, we had to take a plane, and I don't remember much of the trip to California as I do the way back. But I do remember peeking out the window at one point and possibly seeing the Grand Canyon, or at the very least what looked like super rocky terrain. On the way back home, actually, I sat with somebody who was from Britain, and she and I had a really long conversation. I don't remember anything of it, but she was super nice. But anyway, our hotel had a pool area right in the center of it with a small hot tub area as well. Now, I don't remember a whole lot about this trip as far as the actual order of events, so I'll just type out what I remember in general. We took a bus tour of downtown Hollywood, and were also able to walk the streets as well. And I don't really remember the name of the shopping plaza that we were in, but there was a bridge or like a platform, a viewing platform with a pair of binoculars pointed up at the Hollywood sign that you could look into. And I also remember that we were able to practice at the Hollywood Bowl. We also had a beach day, and this was the year where I first remember wanting to exercise and eat well so I could wear a bikini to the beach. And we went to a part of Huntington Beach, which was close by to some shopping area. Of course, I don't remember what it is. And this actually started my forbidden love of Jamba Juice. And my regular there was the Tahiti green tea, which apparently they no longer serve. I also remember we took a day to explore Disneyland, ride rides and stuff. And we got to stalk some of the costume characters. I remember the evil queen from Snow White walking by, and my group of friends and I mistakenly called out to her as Maleficent. No wonder she was storming away from us. Now, this is the part that I don't quite remember. I knew we had an allotted time to actually sing in the park, like as free entertainment, I guess, for the guests. And we were able to go behind the walls to the so-called backstage Disney. We didn't venture too far behind the park or anything, so I can't even say for sure if we were truly backstage, quote unquote. But really the most incriminating thing we saw back there was like old props and backgrounds, things like that. There was a stage there that we practiced on, and then we did our actual showing in the theme park. And I also can't quite remember when we actually did our adjudication or where. But I do remember we didn't do it as well, award-wise, as we had the previous year. I don't really remember what we walked away with, but we were pretty disappointed. The next few stories are just little things that occurred that, again, I can't quite place the timing of. The first was a night some of us were hanging out in one of the boys' rooms, and one of my choir mates had gotten a really bad case of sunburn on his arms, and for whatever reason, some of the other guys thought it would be hilarious if they filmed themselves smacking his sunburn with ice-cold hands. I don't really know why I was put in charge of filming, but okay. I actually know it's on YouTube, so I'm just gonna secretly put the link down in the description below if you want to cringe a little. And as a little bonus, it looks like my ex's comment is still there, so there you go. That wasn't the only prank that was pulled during this trip. See, back in the day, I had a habit of exfoliating my lips with my toothbrush before actually brushing my teeth. And this is important to note, okay? One morning, one of my roommates and I are brushing our teeth, getting ready for the day, when we feel like our mouths felt a little more off, like than usual. I mean, whatever. I felt like my lips were tingly and kind of numb, but I thought maybe it was because I did exfoliated a bit too hard. But my roommate's gums and tongue felt the same. They felt numb. And we didn't learn till slightly later that day that one of the boys had snuck into our room at some point and placed a thin layer of Orajel on our toothbrushes as a joke. Fun times. This last story wasn't so much funny as it was slightly worrying and panicky. See, our school would print us out IDs that we could carry around and use, whether it be for football games or to get student discounts at stores or what have you. They were also usable as a form of ID for getting on airplanes at the time, I guess. I honestly don't know if that was actually the case or if it was just a precaution our director wanted us to take. Anyway, I carried mine everywhere, but at some point during our trip, I could not find my student ID. I told my director immediately, and he had a student ID overnighted to our hotel, like from Pennsylvania to California, just in time for our flight. The funny thing was, though, several weeks later, he got mail to the school from Disneyland with my old ID in it. Looks like someone found it after all. That about does it for my California shenanigans, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more art-related content, I would totally appreciate if you would subscribe. And remember to draw what you love and love what you draw. Wow, this one really is long.